Thor got the little brush.
Yeah,
He
Thor got his
weird
bangs pushed out of the
dance.
way, and Loki in true form got some weird molesty dance. Perfect. What could be better?
Hey YouTube, welcome back to our channel. My name is Elena.
And I'm Bjorn.
And we are Viking Age reenactors and living historians here to talk with you about your favorite Viking shows.
So last week you guys had voted and decided to have us watch Ragnarok, the Netflix high school drama show. I don't know how else to describe it, really.
The Norwegian high school drama.
Yeah, it's a Norwegian high school drama with gods. That's about it. So we just did episode 1 last week, so we're on episode 2 this week. So without further ado, episode 2.
Hun fløy paraglider med en stor tandemskjerm som ble truffet av lynet.
Det lynte ikke på det tidspunktet.
No, something is definitely not adding up because obviously we saw that there was no lightning.
Yeah, he wasn't struck by lightning. He caused the thunder in the evening.
Yeah.
Somebody's clearly trying to cover for something. I think Vidar has something to do with it because he was the only person up in that area and it's pretty fishy. Who knows? We'll find out. I do still love that he's taking on more of what she wanted him to do in terms of not wearing the glasses and being himself and stuff, and he's still he's very much present and kind of starting to really take a firm grasp on being a son of Thor kind of thing, with the inclement weather and being very adamant about it, of taking the glasses. He's just no, outright refusing it instead of trying to appease her and stuff. So that's really nice to see.
Yeah, that, and now coming to talk to the detective and everything. He's going to try and seek out the justice. He's going to try to figure out who did what.
Oh, he's going to find that phone.
Happened.
Yeah, he's going to find that cell phone.
Yeah.
And see the pictures that she was taking of the cave and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. Which, as you were saying last week, is very Thor-like as well.
Absolutely.
Seeking justice and wanting justice to be correct and right.
En eller annen tulling har slått en frontruta mi med en slegge.
Zoom and enhance, please. More. Now enhance. There we go.
I wonder how that got there.
Yeet! All he had to do to prevent that from happening was just go.
And just wait.
Done. And we're back.
So, I mean, yeah, we did see him throw the hammer, but we...
Figured it went into orbit.
I mean, yeah, or maybe just hit one of the nearest stars or something.
I thought it exploded into lightning. That's what I thought. I mean, the thing is, when, in the mythology, when Thor's hammer would strike, that's what causes the lightning. Mm-hmm. So maybe his car not only got hit by a hammer, but also got shot by lightning. Just boom, done.
It didn't look like it got that much damage, but
we'll see.
It definitely got the hammer. Also,
oh, so funny.
Now I want to see a map of this place to see what the trajectory actually was.
Yeah, to see how far he threw that thing, because it looked like miles.
There we go. That's what I wanted to see.
Vi andre ser på porno, du ser på Google Earth. Thank you.
What's wrong with Google Earth?
Er du med I saunaen?
I like the little drinking horn. I didn't notice that.
Does their staircase not have a railing?
It's very sleek.
Er det samling på
It's 'cause in Norway they have common sense.
They don't throw themselves off the stairs.
In America, that's what you call a lawsuit waiting to happen. Because somebody will literally get drunk, fall off the stairs, break their arm, and then sue the people who made it.
Yep. I've just never seen a staircase with no railing.
It's kind of
bizarre
cool
to
looking.
me. It looks cool, but it just looks unfinished.
That's true. Maybe it is unfinished. JK.
Modern designs.
Yeah, dude.
Det var jeg som drepte jenta. I Solde.
Called it!
Yeah, he did.
I mean, I think they were pretty much hitting at it anyways, so I'm not going to give myself too much credit. But called it! Still.
I just didn't expect for him to come out that quickly.
Yeah, he seemed to kind of struggle with it a little bit, which is interesting character development there. He is tossing it around in his head a little bit. He seemed a little bothered. Also, you see when she was or when they were talking, he was just oh, these people, these humans, and their feelings. Just kind of like they're like obviously gods, like
Yeah,
they're obviously deities.
Yeah,
and
they're
just
obviously above it all.
Just kind of funny to hear their like casual conversation about humans.
It's interesting to me that the family here that are kind of set up to be the Jotuns, due to their last name and also like on being part of the family and stuff like that, you know, you would think that this family is like the Jotuns of the story, yet they are the ones that are against nature. They're the ones that are poisoning the environment.
Yeah, that's a very fair point.
Because in Norse mythology, they are, you know, nature and the environment.
Yeah, exactly. That's like exactly what they represent. You know, like the Aster and the Vanir are like, you know, order and structure and like civilization, and like industry essentially. You know, it's like a dark age industry. Whereas, like you said, the Jotnar are the opposite. You know, they're those the untamed wilds, complete, you know, unbound nature.
Because I was like under the impression that this whole thing was going to be, you know, the humans are harming the environment and, you know, the Jotuns are coming back to take it back, and there's, you know, the whole blowout with the gods. I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing.
But this is not anything of what I was expecting, and I'm curious to see how it's all going to get explained. We all know that.
Sorry, the way he's looking at it, it's like, oh, I'm a little curious about this. I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me.
Ooh, is he gonna cross-dress?
Right?
That's a Loki feature.
He's just like, you're holding that for too long there, buddy. Like, why don't you put it back in the box?
Like he's really just like thinking about it. He's like, maybe this would look good on me.
Heltens reise har begynt.
That's sad.
It is really sad.
I don't like when they do sad things.
Yeah, I just want to laugh.
I don't like that part.
A couple of our viewers noted this past week that the old lady and the old man in the wheelchair are rumored to be Odin and Frigg.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense, like, looking back at it.
Totally,
yeah, we were kind of wondering about them a little bit last week, you know, kind of watching the first episode, like, who the heck are they?
Yeah, I didn't say anything, but I had some thoughts about it.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, the old, weird people who are, like, strangely prophetic in town.
Yeah.
Totally. Told you!
Okay, well, it's not quite cross-dressing, but that's hilarious.
That entrance, man. Just walked in, like, so, like, meek and, like, oh, God.
Right down to the guy liner and everything. Just the whole slow motion, toss your head back entrance.
I know. God, if he had long hair, it would have just been flowing. Delightful. Not cross-dressing, but it is still his mom's shirt. So we'll give him that much, at least.
Jeg tror hun er opptatt. Nei, så han er opptatt, da. Sorry.
Hey, party! Hey, Magnus!
So is Loki's gay? Okay.
Loki's all kinds of things.
Loki
Loki can't be defined by our mere mortal words. Loki's such an interesting character because he gets so much shade thrown at him constantly in the sagas and the mythology and stuff, and a lot of it's very similar to what Odin does, and then Odin takes no flack at all. But I mean, it's Loki, even like renditions of Loki, has always been very like bordering homosexual, like metrosexual, you know, like a very suave, like sensible dude who like kind of flirts with the border between any kind of like typical sort of definition, I guess. And yeah, he's a weird dude. He's just all over the place.
Yeah, he's all over the map.
Yeah, he's all over the radar. It's bizarre.
And it's hard to, like, really pin him down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he prefers it that way, honestly. So yeah, so I feel like because of that aspect of his mythology, a lot of, like, modern retellings kind of make any kind of Lokian character a little bit on the gay side, at the very least.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, they need something heavier, that's all.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, you're wearing a 70K shirt. I was like, either one of these bands would do it. But
Well, this personifies like 60 bands.
exactly. So we got some
40,
options.
40 bands. Sorry.
We got some options. 40 plus 1. Yes. Nailed it.
Did nobody notice the eyes and the weirdness and the everything?
I think from everyone's reaction, they all realized all of it. Did you also realize that, like, they're supposed to be siblings?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
That was creepy.
Yeah. And meanwhile, their mother was molesting 2 high school students.
/ getting molested by.
Yeah, there's something really wrong with this family. Going back to Norse mythology a little bit.
Educate me, girl.
So, all of the Jotuns were involved in this whole thing, but if you notice, Loki also got involved. I'm calling him Loki. Whatever. I've given up on his character name at this point.
Fair enough.
He also got involved. In Norse mythology, Loki is a Jotun.
Yeah, he's at least part.
He's part Jotun.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me that whatever music they put on that puts him into this trance is also affecting him in the same way, to where he joins and goes into this trance and does this dance with them.
Yeah, like, not as much as them, but he still, like, got into it, like, in part, and, like, was all synchronized and being weird, and...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call. Very interesting.
That's an interesting parallel right there.
Maybe this is what's going to awaken all his weird powers.
Thor got the little brush.
Yeah,
He
Thor got his
weird
bangs pushed out of the
dance.
way, and Loki in true form got some weird molesty dance. Perfect. What could be better?
Og en turvideo. Den sletta. En gang til ba de oss. Husker du det? De offret til vår ære. I dag heter det noe annet.
I'm noticing that all over their house, and this is just a very short point, they have this knotwork, whether it's on the doors or just like a wall covering, or there was like a ceiling light that had like the same knotwork around it, and it's very reminiscent of a later period Viking age knotwork style. I think probably like yelling or something around there.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like yelling or like earnest or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just very like those long ribbony kind of
Yeah.
designs with all the animals kind of hidden into it. I'm liking it in the background. It's very...
Definitely.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, when you're talking about the Viking Age art styles, there's several of them that span the centuries that the Viking Age was happening.
Absolutely.
But generally, it starts with this like very bulky, massive art style. Sort of the god masks that you see are usually made in those styles.
Yeah, very blocky, like with Bora and
Yeah.
even like Broa and I mean, to an extent, the Oseberg style is like kind of starting to get to the middle range. But yeah, you see it a lot with the earlier styles where they're very like bulky and thick and like just those like very
Just fill in a
dominant like
mass.
gripping beasts and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they fill in like a mass.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the Viking Age, that changes, and you see, like you said, those like elongated like beasts and threads, and you know, just like a lot of very like flowy
Yeah, it's like
designs.
almost everything has like an almost like swan like kind of like long, elegant form to it all. Yeah.
Yeah, and those are the designs that are oftentimes mistaken for Celtic art styles. I mean, they were very similar. Sometimes it's very difficult to
Yeah,
tell them
very
apart.
similar. Very similar.
But yeah, I do enjoy the fact that they decided to use the later age style. It just kind of harks back to like, here's where the Viking Age ended.
Yeah, and I also like the fact that they're actually using those kind of like they're doing a lot of those like the Viking examples of artwork, and just like in general, even like the drinking horn and everything that we saw. I like that they're using that really heavily in their home. You know, because it's like, you know, it's a very sleek, unique, like modern, you know, fancy home, whatever. But within it, you can see all these little hinted elements of like who they are.
Yeah,
Kind of
exactly.
in their abode. So I really like that they're kind of hinting at that really heavily. I mean, not even hinting. They've just outright said, like, we rule these people. They worshipped us. They sacrificed to us.
Yeah.
We are gods, basically.
Yeah, but this is just like in the style of the home itself.
Yeah, just the little things that like the average person could go in and like hint at and be like, you guys are really into like Viking stuff, huh? Aren't you? Like, Jesus, it's like everywhere, huh? It's like what I want my home to be. Whoa. That was brutal.
Can I just point out that he's the one that killed said child?
Listen, there's a difference between killing a person and then disrespecting the person.
So, also on the topic of Vidar beating on his son because he literally got caught with his pants down, there is something to be said about honor in the Viking Age, and how your own honor and what you did also reflected on the honor of your family.
Yeah, like a term that I feel like we don't really use too often nowadays, but we did use like a fair amount of decades ago. That's like a good comparison is like face. Mm-hmm. You know, of like saving face in front of like a crowd or something kind of similar to that. It's like, it's kind of a mix between like honor and reputation and like personal renown and stuff. But yeah, it actually did, kind of cross over and transcend not just an individual, but like a family's reputation as well. So yeah, it's very much, if you do or act one certain way, it's not just you who's getting judged. People aren't just like, oh, well, this guy's great, but his son's a piece. People are like that kind of nowadays and things. But back then, it was very much like, that Erickson family, you stay away from them. They're a bunch of pieces of in so many words. They piss on people's graves when they murder them. How dare they? That Vidarson family, oh boy, don't get me started on him. He's not allowed in the church. Being a literal pagan god, Yeesh. I have a suspicion.
Do you have an inkling about who that could have been?
I think Isolde isn't actually dead. And she did it. She's in cahoots with Vidar. That's what I think.
I'm gonna laugh so hard if that turns out to be true.
If that's true, I will walk off a cliff. Ridiculous.
That's just such an outlandish theory about knowing writers these days. Who the heck knows?
What a twist. I'm curious as to what he thinks he can gain by robbing their house so obviously.
Pretty sure the only thing he's been doing this entire episode has been looking for that cell phone, and maybe he thinks that they have it. Which, to your point, he doesn't have to turn everything upside down and be so obvious about looking for it, but...
Yeah, it's a funeral. He's got some time.
Yeah. Interesting build-up so far.
Absolutely.
Again, I'm more... not confused, but intrigued about the fact that the people who we think are Jotuns in this are the ones that are destroying the environment. Mm-hmm. That's a really interesting setup.
Yeah.
That I was not expecting.
Absolutely. And I'm getting more and more interested with just the way they talk to each other, too. Mm-hmm. The whole of, these people worship us and we choose when they die and all these kind of things. That's not something that the gods would do in mythology. That was left to fate, to the Norns who spun everybody's web. Mm-hmm. Which is something that the gods were themselves subjected to.
Yeah, but I do think that, some of the gods did hold sway, because even, when Odin would sit on his throne and look out, he would give a favor, to armies and to, people on the battlefield. So, there was a lot of that as well. Vidar being Odin's son, that could translate into that a little bit. We're not talking about warriors on a battlefield with this, obviously. But it is really interesting.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Far, yeah.
And I want to see more of kind of how they're going to tie in a solstice and sacrifice and all these little elements into how these people just kind of live casually their lives. I'm pretty interested.
Let us know what you guys think about this so far.
Please
no
do.
spoilers. But let us know if there's anything that we may have missed in watching this the first time, because one of the things that I find in doing these reaction videos, it's the first time you're watching it, so you have no time to even digest any of the information.
Exactly.
And you just spew out the first thing out of your mouth. And then, you know, people who have had a chance to read all of these like Reddit threads and, you know, talk with their friends about it, they're just like, actually it's this.
Yeah.
So like, if there is anything that we may have missed, or maybe we're just like not hitting the mark on,
Yeah, just glaze over or something.
yeah, we love having those conversations with you guys in the comments. So just let us know.
Do you have something to say? Because you're facing the wrong way. I think it Ron. My mind immediately went Weasley, and I was like, not in this show? What are you talking about? Second wave Norwegian black metal was a big push, but it was second wave. It wasn't first wave. First wave was like Venom and Bathory and... Yeah, listen. You say that, and that's what they all say to all the shit that we say.
Actually...
Professor Buzzkill over here.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified of our future videos. And we will see you in the next one.